Hello all and welcome back to 64 Squares Official. Today we have another thrilling blitz battle from the Grand Chess Tour Super Rapid and Blitz Croatia 2026, featuring two of the strongest young grandmasters in the world. With the white pieces we have Nodirbek Abdusattorov and with black pieces Alireza Firouzja. This is a 5+2 blitz game, so you can expect razor sharp tactics, practical decisions and plenty of time pressure drama. Firouzja is known for creating chaos on the board, while Abdusattorov is one of the most resourceful defenders in modern chess. So now let's dive into the game. Nodirbek opens with e4, c6 replies Firouzja. Firouzja plays his trusted Caro-Kann defense. Now d4, d5, e5 and bishop to f5. Now g4, attacking the bishop. Abdusattorov plays the highly aggressive Bayonet Attack. Instead of developing quietly, white immediately shows g-pawn down black's throat to compromise the bishop on f5, a bishop to g6 and knight to e2 and c5. A standard counterpunch. Black strikes at white's central wedge on d4 before white can completely lock down the king side. Now h4 and knight to c6, h5 attacking the bishop. Now bishop goes to e4 attacking the rook. Now rook to h3 and h6, creating a crucial escape square on h7 for the light squared bishop as white was threatening to trap it with f3 and g5. Now e6, a highly thematic structural sacrifice. Abdusattorov damages black's pawn structure, leaving the e6 pawn weak and blocking the natural development of black's dark squared bishop. Now f takes e6. Firouzja accepts the pawn challenge. Now knight b to c3. The first minor slip by white while it attacks the e4 bishop. It blocks the c pawn from supporting the d4 center. The engine prefers a knight d2 instead, keeping the c pawn flexible. Now bishop to h7 and d takes e5. A strategic mistake. Giving up the d4 pawn allows a black central pawns to roll forward. Nodirbek needed to play knight to f4 to put immediate intense pressure on the weak e6 pawn. Now d4 attacking the c3 knight. Firouzja seizes the center immediately, kicking the white knight. Now knight to a4. Now knight to b4, a beautiful tactical response. Firouzja exploits the hole left on d2. The threat of a royal fork on c2 forces white into uncomfortable gymnastics. Now bishop to g2, knight takes e2 with a check and attacking the rook on a1 at the same time. Now king to f1 and knight takes a1. Black wins a whole clean rook, but white gets massive dynamic compensation and a huge initiative against black's uncoordinated pieces. Now c6 and b takes c6, knight to c5 attacking the pawn on e6. Now queen to d6 comes in support and attack the c5 knight as well. Now knight to e4 counter attacking the queen. An inaccuracy here. White had a much sharper option with knight to b7, forcing black's queen to commit to a less active square while keeping the initiative blazing. Now queen to b4, knight to f4 and e5 attacking the knight. Now knight goes to g6 attacking the rook. So bishop takes g6 and h takes g6. Now queen to c4 check. Now king to g1 and queen to c2. Now queen to e1. White does not want to trade queens. Knight to f6 and bishop to d2 and rook to b8, eyeing the b2 pawn. Firouzja defends tenaciously under fire. He returns some material to break the coordination of white's pieces. With both players down to their last minute, the game enters a completely chaotic phase. Now g5, a massive blunder by Abdusattorov. He tries to open lines on the king side but completely ignores the safety of his own king. White absolutely had to find queen to e2 to shore up the weak back rank. Now knight to d5. Unbelievable. Firouzja blunders right back. He missed the instantly winning move rook takes b2. If white captures, the back rank mate threats are completely unstoppable. Now queen takes a1, another inaccuracy. Recapturing the knight lets black off the hook. b4 was a suggested engine move here to slow down a black's counterplay. Now rook takes b2 and rook to b3. Rook takes b3 and a takes b3. Now h takes g5. Black gets another rook open file. Now queen to a6. Abdusattorov penetrates with its queen, threatening a devastating check on c8. However, this is a fatal blunder because it leaves his own king completely defenseless. f3 was mandatory to give the white king an escape square. Now king to d7. The evaluation bar pulls a complete U-turn with just 6 seconds left on his clock. Firouzja panics and runs his king right into the line of fire. He completely missed queen to b1 check. which would force mate or win the white queen in a few moves. Now queen to b7 check. The favor is returned again under intense blitz pressure. Nodirbek misses the quiet, brilliant defensive resource f3. Covering the e4 square would completely neutralize black's attack and leave white with a crushing position. Instead, the check lets black survive. Now knight to c7, hiding the check. Now bishop to a5, putting pressure on the c7 square. The final fatal blunder of the game. White wants to pile onto the pinned knight, but it completely abandons the defense of the first rank. For the third time, f3 was the only way to stay alive. Now it's a forced mate. Now queen to b1 check, bishop to f1, queen takes e4, threatening checkmate on h1. White is forced to check, but there are no perpetuals. Queen takes e7 check and king to e6, bishop to g2, attacking the queen and stopping checkmate on h1. Now queen to b1 check, bishop to f1 and rook to h1 check. The spectacular exclamation point. Firouzja unloads a beautiful temporary rook sacrifice. Now king takes h1, queen takes f1 check. Now king to h2 and queen to f2 check. King to h1 and queen f1 check. King to h2, queen to e2 check. King to g1 and queen to d1 check. King to h2, queen to c2 check and king to g1. Queen takes g6 pawn. Firouzja systematically strips away all of white's advanced pawns with check, ensuring no counterplay exists before converting his material advantage. Queen takes c6 with a check. Now king to f7, supporting the queen. Queen to d5 check. Queen e6. Queen to f3 check. King goes g8 and queen e4 and a6. Bishop to d2 and g6 and bishop takes g5. Now queen to f5. Queen d5 check and e6, hiding the check. Queen to d8 and d3, pawn promotion, and bishop to e7, putting pressure on the f8 and e4. Black is trying to promote the pawns. Now king to g2 and queen f3 check. Now king to h2 and queen f2 check. King to h3 and queen f5 check. King to g2 and e3. Bishop takes f8 and queen takes f8 and queen takes d3 and queen f2 check. King to h1, allowing a force mate in 13. Though white's position was entirely dead anyway. Queen to f3 check, king to h2, queen f4 check. With just 2 seconds left on his increment, Firouzja misses the immediate mate sequence, starting with the queen to f2, but the resulting endgame remains an elementary win. King to g2 and queen g4 check. Now king to h2 and queen h5 check. Now king to g3, queen e5 check and king to h4. Stepping directly into swift mating net with 0 seconds left on his clock, white resigned. What a breathtaking, flawed, magnificent blitz battle between two of the world's sharpest tactical minds. If you loved this intense move-by-move breakdown, make sure to subscribe to the channel for daily chess analysis. Hit that like button and let me know in the comments below at which move you completely lost your mind. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.